Greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome to a brand spanking new week right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Last community and finance for June. How are you? How are each and every one of you? I want to say big ups to those who are locked in right now, those on TuneIn Radio, the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. I want to say big ups to those hailing from across the pond on One Harmony Radio. Top of the morning to ya. Those on WGLRO. Home of the Donnie Walker Morning Show, taking you from the sheets to the streets. Touching Detroit to Denmark and all points in between. And those on PEMGTV.com. Welcome. And of course, all those locked in right here at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word. I would not even try. Kicking it off with a little Miss Jessie Caldero. If you didn't know how to spell it, now you do. S-O-C-A. That's how you spell soca. The little daughter of Leon Caldero, Jessie Lee. She's such a natural, it's just in her blood. I want to say thanks to Policy Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show. When being in a moment is priceless, give them a call. 754-999-6020. They can do everything you see right here on kevinstew.com. They can host your website. They can create a website for you if you don't have one yet, and then host it. They can provide you with streaming services, whether it be on your website like you see here on kevinstew.com, or you have an event happening and you want to stream it live. You can do that on a secure platform. Give them a call, 754-999-6020. Or visit them at paulcmg.com. Pulse Media Group, and being in the moment is priceless. Thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea LSU is a licensed massage therapist. She comes to you, brings her a table, has her oils. All you have to do, outside of paying her, is get off her table when she's done. You can fall asleep somewhere else. Give her a call, 954-655-9000. Or email her at thealater@att.net. She serves Broad County, North Miami-Dade, and South Palm Beach counties. So do what you need to do and make your appointment today. Thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment. They'll take care of your publishings, your copyrights, your legal contracts, trademarks, business registrations. They can be a booking agent, your tour management agents, and so much more. You want to do some social media marketing? You want to get some marketing and promotion done? Contact Reggae Global Entertainment. 954-998-8034 or visit them at reggaeglobalentertainment.com. And of course, GMAT Music Solutions, providing sound, light, and stage production services, musical equipment, PA systems, audio engineers, DJs, bands, musicians, singers, and so much more. Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. Or visit them at gmatmusicsolutions.com. You can also do your online shopping there. Check them out. Any of my sponsors you call on, just say, hey, listen, I heard about you on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. He's not that bad of a guy. What can you do for me? Believe me, they'll do their best to meet you where you are. Greetings and salutations to those in the stew pot. Big ups to Marlon, reggae music entertainer extraordinaire, host of Real Rockers. Real Rockers happens every Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 10 p.m. right before this show. It's the perfect warm-up. Jessa Lee. Thank you, Jessa Lee. She's such a sweetheart. If you ever get a chance to meet her, you'll just fall in love right away. Now, tonight we actually have something to do. Tonight's show actually has something to do with young people. And it's as in the youngsters, the youth in South Florida, to be specific. And we have a delightful lady who will be coming on to talk to us about what she and her organization is doing with these young people in South Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, without much further ado, I present to you the woman of the moment. From this point on, it becomes all about Link Up and Build. It's a Link Up and Build show. And with me tonight, I have... Are you there? You sound so quiet. You're so quiet. I'm like, what's going on here? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you none other than Sulaya Williams. Welcome to the show.
Good night. Hello.
How are you?
I am blessed. How are you?
I am tired.
I can see that.
Really? I look tired? Is that what you're saying?
No.
You're saying I look tired?
You don't look tired.
Oh, okay. Because, all of a sudden we would have had technical difficulties.
No. It's been a long day, I'm sure. That's all.
But there's nothing more refreshing than hitting play at 10 p.m. and just riding with it until midnight. You know, it's just one of those things that is just invigorating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's life giving for me. But tonight is not about me. Tonight, it's really all about link up and build,
Yes.
and you.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I turn over the show to you, because from this point on, it's your show,
Okay.
we'll start with you. Who is Sulaya Williams?
Who am I? I'm a mother. I'm an educator. Um, I'm a lover. I love people. I love children, especially young people. I love inspiring and motivating people and encouraging um, everyone to basically learn their purpose, know their purpose, walk in their purpose, speak in their purpose, which is how Link Up and Build came about.
Mm.
So,
Well, that right there is pretty much the perfect segue into how Link Up and Build came about.
well, it started, well, it's my friends and I, we've always been looking for something to put our children in for them to be a part of, like an organization that speaks to us as um, Black people, people of the diaspora, and teaching about our history and culture for our children to be able to know who they are. Um, Shout out to Nikki, Sasha, Primrose, Alicia, Gavin, Tonya. Um, we all would have conversations and try to figure out, like, looking for different things to go into. And then one day I was just like, you know what? Let me just start this because we're sitting here looking and searching for things.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat down one day and came up with like a whole format of how we're going to start and we're going to meet and stuff like that. And the first meeting was actually in my apartment. I came up with a whole lesson plan. I mentioned I was an educator, or I am an educator. I'm actually
Right.
um, work at a local charter school, Medina Academics, assistant principal there now.
Mm.
So I came up with a whole lesson plan where the children were supposed to research an African country and do a presentation, work on their speaking skills. The family was supposed to come together and find a dish and create the dish together and bring it to my house that day. And that was
Wait,
like the best
when you
ever.
said the children, you mean the children, your children, and the children of your friends who were coming
Yes,
over to your house?
yes.
You're giving them homework?
Yeah, and they loved it because it was a project. It was a hands-on project, and it involved the whole family. They each picked an African country, and it's not just for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
It was for us as well because we didn't know. There's a lot we don't know, so we're learning with them, which is a beautiful thing. Because you know, sometimes we're always feeling like we should be telling the children stuff, and sometimes they need to teach us. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
true. Sometimes we learn a lot from children. A few years ago, I learned to just expand my thought process just a little bit more from my younger son. Simply asking the question, how many minutes in a dollar? And I was confused. And he was about 6 at the time. And like, and his mother was like, what do you mean? There, how many minutes in a dollar? And she's like, and he's like, well, you said time is money. How many minutes in a dollar? And most of the listeners here would have already met Nathaniel. Nathaniel came on, the older son. He came on the show to talk about. You might have gotten a kick out of this one. To talk about standardized testing,
Mm.
and he did that last summer. So you can check the archives for that. It's about a year old now, but you'll see Nathaniel, and he was right here talking about. He said, "Dad, I need to talk about this. I need to come on your show and talk about this." I'm like, "Hey, have at it." So you saying to the children, "Hey, here's a project. Let's get into this, and let's find out where. Let's see where it takes us, and learn what we can learn." And you said it right too. Sometimes we need to listen to them because there's something that we can learn. There's something somewhere along the line that we probably missed, or we didn't have that bit of insight to look at it from another perspective.
Right.
So,
And they're less tainted.
and then they painted.
No, I said they are less tainted, like
Oh,
by society and stuff.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
so
they're
pure. Yeah. So
yeah.
here it is now. You told your friends to come over. You developed a lesson plan for the visit. I have never thought of doing a lesson plan for my friends to come and visit me. Uh, I just not something that has ever come to my mind. But I know whose house I'm not going to.
Oh, that's not for every visit.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is going to be. Listen, I was happy to be done with school for a long time ago for a very good reason. No more homework. And
Every moment should be a lesson, teachable moment, lesson.
okay, I'll reflect on the moment and learn something from it. I don't need to be given an assignment. But in the stew pot, so Marlon, yeah, big ups Marlon. Marlon saying I love her already, just from your
Oh,
introduction. Wait, Marlon, we will give you time to fix that.
hold on. Thank you, Marlon.
Hey, yeah, he's loving the concept that you have here. So you had your friends come over, you had the kids come over, you gave them an assignment.
Hmm.
Was it an assignment? Did you give the assignment before they came over, or was it when they got there? You said, "Hey, listen, this is what we're gonna do for the next meeting."
I feel like they had maybe a month or so to do it, and for like the parents to gather the stuff and figure out how they were going to present it. They could have done it digitally or on paper or poster boards, and yeah, it was about, I want to say maybe like 30 people is in my little apartment.
What?
Yeah, about 30, and it was
What?
nice. It was real nice. It was like to see it flourish and just come together. We started off with like storytelling. One of our friends told a story, and then the kids started presenting, and then we started eating the food, and they enjoyed it.
Well, the food is always good.
Yes, but it was different food. A lot of the stuff they didn't taste before, but I was
What?
happy that they were willing to try because it was food from the country that they represented.
Oh,
Hmm. So
where,
they tasted it, and they were able to say whether they like it or not.
where did they get that? Which countries? Which countries were they researching? How many kids were you talking about? So you said there are about 30 people,
Yeah, that's including the parents.
right?
Right.
We know that couldn't happen today because there are rules against meetings like those. But
Yeah. This was like 3 years ago or something. Yeah.
so the food came from where? How many different countries are you talking about here being represented or presented on?
I don't even remember. Like I know we had Congo. We had, if anybody's listening, you could go ahead and type in. Um,
Well, if anybody was there that is listening.
I know that was there. I don't remember, but it was probably maybe at least seven because we only did the older kids who were able to do the report. The younger ones like sat and watched.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know my son did Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, and that was kind of cool, like learning about the history and stuff.
Anybody did Ghana?
I don't believe so.
Oh,
That would have been because there's a lot of people who are in the group who have been there. So we wanted to do countries that we had no clue.
that would have been easy.
Yes, actually, one of the families, the father is from Ghana. So yeah, we wanted stuff we wouldn't know.
Well, no, shameless plug. Come next week. On this very show, I have the woman running to be the very first female president of Ghana
Nice,
as my guest. So,
nice.
and those elections will be held later this year, around about the end of the year.
That'll be interesting.
Okay, so here we have some info into the stew pot. It was about 7 or 8 countries, and we did an Ethiopian meal on another occasion. So there was another
Yeah, we meet every month. That was Nikki. Thank you, Nikki.
taste the rainbow. What? Y'all had Skittles?
Okay, so listen, I didn't even get into that. That was just the first thing. So every month we meet, and one time we talked about Ethiopia. The children did a presentation on that, and we went and got Ethiopian food from Awash in Miami Gardens. Another time we did the Taste the Rainbow, where we spoke about nutrition and the colors, the benefits of the colors of the fruits and vegetables, and what they do for each body part and for your body.
Mmm.
You go on our Instagram on link underscore up underscore and underscore build. You can actually see those photos. It was beautiful. Like we had the parents come in. Well, I gave them a color. They had to choose whatever fruit or vegetable they wanted to bring. So if I said you bring red, you have to bring in something red. If you bring purple, and there was an actual circle of all of the fruits and vegetables there, and Nikki went through it, and we talked about the different benefits, and then we also did fitness, where we actually had them exercising. We were talking about just our body and what we put in and what we need to do to take care of our body.
So you're talking about this picture here, where y'all standing around this table, and there's this all these fruits that it looks
Yes,
like.
and that was the taste of the rainbow, not Skittles. No, no candy, no candy.
Wow,
God's candy, actually.
I like that.
hmm So that there's things that we do every month. We have 7 principles that we go by, and we come up with different lessons or workshops or even field trips based on these principles. So the first two are awareness and survival. The second two are thrive and excellence.
Mm-hmm.
The third two are respect and community, and then spirituality. So everything we do go around these principles to make sure that we touch on them and teach the children about these principles that we want them to uphold.
So for those listening and not yet in the stew pot or tuned into kevinstew.com, you're wondering what the stew pot is. It's what others call a chat room. We're just fancy here on kevinstew.com. We call it the stew pot. It's where we keep things interactive, and you keep things bubbling. And everybody in the stew pot brings a little something else. So it is well seasoned. It's a judgment free zone. So jump on and share with us. You can call, you can text 773-789 stew. Get you in touch. You call, you text, you WhatsApp. You can Skype in if you are overseas and you can't directly link in. But of course, there's kevinstew.com that you can use anywhere. So ways to get you in touch, and you can talk to Sulaya.
Uh,
Hey, I don't have to be the only one enduring this.
uh-uh. You know what? I got you.
Well, y'all should be able to tell by now that I have the luxury of being able to take certain liberties um, for whatever reason. I have managed to secure this luxury. But I do have great respect for this lady ever since we met, which wasn't very long ago, surprisingly enough. But I was really fascinated by this venture when I heard about it. And I said, you know what? I have to have you come on the show and talk about this.
hmm
Now, so y'all, the Taste the Rainbow thing was a whole nother night. It wasn't that first night.
No, we've been doing this for 3 years now, and every month we meet. We go on field trips. I think the last field trip we went on was January. We went to Frost Museum, where they can explore and be little scientists for the days. Um, we've done. Like we built tribes, we done goal setting, vision boards for the children. They had to come up with their own vision boards, and we talked about setting goals for the school year. We did entrepreneurship workshop. We did a financial wealth workshop with a friend from New York Life. Like we've done so many things.
So, okay. And I had gotten some pictures from you, and you mentioned a couple of field trips and doing some activities. So it'll be good to know which picture was which. You mentioned vision board. Is that the one where they're holding up?
The boards,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So let me go ahead and share that with everybody
And that's
because
where,
I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah, because I mean, we do it as adults. Like I have vision boards in my house, and I always include my children in it. But just, the beginning of the year, or, any time that you choose, like the beginning of something, like, okay, these are the things that I want from my life. These are the things I want to manifest. These are the things that I want to see come, to come into fruition. So we got a whole bunch of magazines, stickers, all sort of art stuff. And the kids like picked out their own things, like what they were interested in and what they wanted for their life. And we encouraged them to put it up in their room to look at every day, think on that, like when they wake up and, say their prayers or affirmations, um, for them to be able to work towards that. Because we also were speaking about goal setting.
Mm.
We just be, be purposeful in what they do. And for them to know that they can do anything they put their mind to.
Yeah. For some of us, our minds are scary places. So, having a vision board might help to take some of the scariness away. I don't know. So, the both parents and the children work together in this.
Right. And the thing is, when we have the parents there, um, we let the children know these are your elders, but it's not for the parents to lead them. It's for
Mm.
the children to do it. Is for, and the parents are there as guidance if needed. Because we want to make sure that we're not putting our beliefs and our vision for our children on them, because they come into this world with their own purpose, and we don't want to dilute that. So we kind of just, guide them. If they say they wanted an airplane because they want to be a pilot, and they can't find the airplane, we go find the airplane. We're not going to question them and say, no, maybe you shouldn't be a pilot because you can't see. No, we it's
Mm.
whatever they feel that they want.
So, one of the things that I'm getting from this is you are encouraging these children to be individuals,
Yes.
to have minds of their own that they actually use constructively and creatively.
Hmm. Yes, we are. Because even our generation, like, we weren't encouraged to be ourselves. We were
Well, this is
actually
true.
discouraged. We were discouraged, and it's not until maybe now in our adult lives that we're like, wait a minute, I was interested in this before. Now we're going back. Like it's like we're backtracking.
Yeah, almost
So
starting over.
right. So I mean, if a child is adamant about something, and you're watching them and kind of see how it goes, and you're also praying and asking the Most High, like, what is this child? What spirit did you put in this child?
Mm.
Then kind of guide them in the way that they're expressing.
So there's also a spiritual component, not necessarily a religious component, but a spiritual component to this.
Yeah, yeah. We start every meeting with our affirmations.
Hmm.
Um, we don't go too much, like you said, we don't go too much into the religion, because we do have different
Various
faiths,
religions represented, yeah.
right? Yeah. But we do talk about the creator and just knowing yourself, and when you know yourself and you're seeking, then you'll be good, you know. And then the parents, guide them the way they would like to when they're home.
Right. That's nice because that's another thing that we see coming out here. And I don't know if this is by design because with you doing your lesson plans and all. You set out your objectives and your goals, uh, and then you go back and you reflect and you write your conclusions. I don't know if this was a part of the plan because now you have certain themes coming out, whereas you have acceptance, you have the village raising the child,
Hmm.
because there's the other faiths that are represented, the acceptance of those other faiths, and knowing that although we're different, we're so much alike.
Yeah.
And then you also have that component of the parents there and saying that, hey, they're your elders, they're here to guide.
Right.
And you're not saying that they are only there to help their children.
Oh no, we're a community. We're definitely a village, and I'm all about that from young. I believe that it does take a village to raise a child, and even within our seven principles, like what we're striving to grow toward is to be able to um, get more elders or people within the community to kind of link the children with, like, say they're interested in broadcasting,
Mm-hmm.
have somebody for them to shadow or give them some type of guidance with that. Because sometimes as parents, like with our own children, we may not be able to reach our own child, but
Yes.
our sister, or our auntie, we call each other auntie or uncle, or
Yeah.
out of
Mm-hmm. That's what I grew up with.
right, they may be able to assist that child. Even like one of the meetings, I think it was the vision board meeting, and it's on the IG pictures. One of the children, it was his birthday, and we were just, we go around, we start with our affirmations, we say our names and talk about anything, that happened since the last time we saw, and then I present the lesson, and I said it was his birthday, and one of the parents heard, and he was like, I'll be right back. And he came and brought like a birthday cake and balloons and all this stuff for him, and that was just, that shows,
Wow.
right, it just showed like the love and the gesture that that was the vision, to have this village, have this community, because I feel
Yeah.
like we pulled so far from how our ancestors lived. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This side of the world, on this western side, and it's all individualistic, but that's not how we naturally roll. Like we're a collective, like we work together. Everybody has a strength, everybody has a role, everybody has a purpose, and we're all supposed to mesh together. So that's kind of like what we're building within Link Up and Build.
Nice. I like that. How did the name come about?
um
'Cause it
I
sounds
don't
like it
I don't even
just fell into your lap with doing what you were doing, and then the name came after.
I don't even know. I think because we would just be like, oh, let's link up because we're Caribbean, so let's link up. And then I don't even remember, because I think at one point we were trying to think if we should change the name. And then, like, I asked, then it was like, well, what else we're gonna do but link up and build, because that's what we're doing. We're linking up, and everything we're doing is to build ourselves, to build our families, to build our community.
Yeah.
So it kind of just stuck.
Hey, I think it works. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So now, is it just one time for the month that y'all get together?
Yes, for now. Because
For the
everybody
past
has,
3 years?
yeah. Before we started off maybe every 2 months because of the schedules, and then we started doing once a month. We meet up. We have a WhatsApp group. I communicate through a WhatsApp group, or through Facebook, or through Instagram, and we just
Mm-hmm.
meet up. It is whatever time, and yeah, I was, if Corona didn't come, COVID, we would have had a summer program actually,
Mm.
but we didn't feel, or I didn't feel comfortable bringing in children. We tried, but it wasn't gonna work. But that's the vision, like to be able to have an everyday meeting for those who need it, and just to have that community there. because sometimes parents work late and they may need somebody, and then even like how it's the summertime, they have that type of guidance.
Yeah. Now, with some of the pictures that you had sent me,
Hmm.
there's one where children are looking through this window. I guess at an aquarium.
Yes, that's at Frost Museum in Miami. Um,
Ah.
that museum's awesome. How is that? Like several floors of different things to discover. I think we definitely need to go back.
Mm.
It was a nice trip. One of the dads had a van, and we packed in the van, and some other people drove, and we had lunch together. We went to the aquarium. They touched the stingrays. There was a bird cage or something. I think I didn't go in there, but
Oh, come on! You're not connecting with your ancestors. That's what they
um,
did. What's
look
going
here.
on?
I don't think they should have even been in a cage, but it was like this mirror place. There was so many. Oh, we watched this movie about the planet Earth.
Hmm.
Uh, there's a lot of different things going on there, but it was cool, like seeing the kids explore and how, like, that's what they need to see every day, not being stuck in a classroom every day, sitting down and not exploring. They do well with the exploration.
So where you had the kids by this outdoor aquarium, it looks like that's also at the same place.
Yeah, if it's an aquarium, there's Frost Museum.
Okay, so that's this one here, where they're standing and looking at the fish and
And there was a cool aviation part too, and I didn't get any pictures of that. But I have like several exhibits on several floors.
wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this was down. What is it? Down by the docks or something?
Yeah, I don't know where I was. I don't know, Miami.
It's just one of the pictures. It has the kids sitting and you had ships in the background
Oh,
and
yeah, 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 yeah. That was afterwards, and we can't. There's like a park behind it. Yeah. I could
oh,
think
nice. So y'all made a whole
the whole
event
day.
out of this.
Yes,
When you said y'all had lunch, I didn't think you were talking about picnic. Okay, so Nikki in the stew pot is saying it's downtown Miami.
there you go. She
Okay,
knows
so
I don't know Miami, so I just got in the van and went.
okay, so now I know two things. I don't go to your house for fear of getting homework, and I don't drive with you for fear of not ending up where we're going.
Oh, no, no, no. I'll find where we're going. I just I'll find. I'll never get you lost. We'll be good. My sense of direction is pretty good, but just Miami scares me sometimes.
I hear some people say that. So Nikki is saying it's close to the port of
Yeah.
Miami. Okay, cool. I'm always looking for places to go. Uh,
Yeah. That's
I
museum, please.
okay, so so now I have Boca Museum to visit and I have Frost Museum to visit.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so listen, people, you really people have a tendency to say you only live once. You live every day. You only die once.
Mhm.
So every day you get a chance to get up and live. Do these things. Go to these places, learn something new, have a new experience, taste some new food. Go visit Sulaya and get some homework. Something, do something different. Link up, build. Don't just end up into this rut where you think life is just blah and there's nothing to it. No. You live every day. You only die once.
That's so true. But I don't give homework. When you come to a link up, meeting or gathering, you'll be in for a good surprise with just positive vibes, love, and learning. You know,
You know,
um,
I really love that whole idea of having that assignment where you get to work together because yeah, you live with your kids, but not many of us actually do things with our kids, our children.
right.
You know, we are there, but we're not connecting,
It's
and
true.
it happens with each other as adults. It happens with our children. You know that a connection isn't there, and these are some of the things that would help to foster that connection. You know, working on an assignment, learning things together.
Mm-hmm. And discussing. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, sharing ideas. Not only does it open up the door to the discussion on that topic, but it opens up the door to discussions on any topic because what you've realized now is you're learning how they communicate. And
Mm-hmm.
the you being the children or the adults, you're learning how the way each other communicates. And not because they're your children does it mean that you're going to know how they communicate. They're their own individuals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what you are doing is bringing out that individuality. It brings out the individuality in the adult who is involved and the child who is involved.
Yep.
And again, it comes back to that acceptance of who is in that community. I'll go ahead and I'll loan you my motto:
What's your
have acceptance through enlightenment.
okay?
I'll lend it to you for a moment.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. And it's a teachable motto because if you take the first letter of each of those words, well, you see what it spells.
Oh, hate.
Yes.
Hmm.
So it's something that you can teach with.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I developed it when I did the show on hate. Check the archives, you'll see it.
I'll look.
You
I'll
see,
definitely.
those are my shameless plugs. You know, I put them, I stick them in there in a show every now and then. You know, people, the archives do exist. KevinStew.com, video archives. You can, if you didn't catch a show, you know, you're looking through each of the night shift show pages. Three of them: community and finance, healthy love, real talk. If you don't see what you're looking for, go ahead and look through the video archives. You have over 300 shows to choose from and counting. And at the end of tonight, this will be the very first one that you see when you go into the video archive. Just to let you know. No pressure, no worries. No,
Oh,
yes.
oh. I was just remembering one of the things, like one of my favorite link up times. Took a couple of months to do. One of our sister did a found an Anansi play because we were talking about Anansi. We all grew up
Mm.
to Anansi stories, so we went into the history and stuff and taught the children. But went a little further. We had them learn the parts of an Anansi story. They built their own props. Um, Alicia, one of our aunties, helped us with the costumes, and they put on the play. And that's also shown on, like pieces of it shown on our IG. And what was awesome about that is that we saw who was like into the acting, who was into the performing, who was into making the props, who was into the back uh, in the backstage stuff, and it was really cool.
So that's is that oh, no, but that says what? Trick or treat?
Where is he trick or treat?
The spider?
A Nancy? What?
Is that the spider? The picture that you sent me with them in a room and there's a spider on the wall.
No, Oh, no, no, no. That's a library.
Oh, hey, listen, I'm just
If you look on the Instagram page, there's a couple of like snippets of the video of their Nancy play.
okay.
If anybody out there would come and join, link up and build, we need cameramen or camera women because we do want to document those things. So that would have been an awesome thing to get the full thing on.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds like something that people should want to get involved in. And a little bit later on, we can talk about how to get involved in it.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned not everybody knows about Anansi, but so are all the adults in this group Jamaican or related to Jamaica, connected
Um,
to Jamaica somehow?
there's a lot. Yeah, the majority. Um, we're trying to recruit some more.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what we started as. If you see that picture that I sent you where we're standing in front of the green screen,
Yes.
that's yeah, that's the majority of our family. Some people are missing, but it's majority Jamaican. There are some there's a Ghanaian family in there actually.
Oh, nice.
Yes, yes. And
And
one of the yeah,
so this is like the starting group.
yes. And we're branching out and accepting everybody.
Wow. I'm just envisioning this group in an apartment.
I said there's some people missing too, and then there's some people added. So yeah, it was an interesting thing. But there was a lot of we have a lot of educators within our group as well.
Ah.
How to handle, the mommies know what to do too.
Well, yeah, and some daddies know what to do. Come
That too,
on,
and the daddies. Yes, 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 yes.
give the daddies their props. Thank you very much.
Thank you, black man. Thank you, daddies.
So you focus. I read somewhere that you look at African and Caribbean heritage.
Hmm.
So it's not just of Jamaica or from Jamaica and the history of and things relating to Jamaica. You do touch
Everywhere.
on other parts of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Have you already done one of those assignments where you looked at other Caribbean countries and their foods and their cultures or anything like that?
No, we haven't gotten there yet. Um, we've been looking at just trying to go through the principles and kind of like instilling those, but that
Mm,
is works. That is
yeah.
in the work.
I like that you did Africa first and
Oh yeah.
countries of Africa because from Africa and the countries in Africa comes the larger Caribbean population being created.
Hmm.
And I can see where some of the cultures would link back to some of the
Yes.
countries in Africa. And it would be good to recognize those connections.
Right. What was important to me is to, and why I started there, being in education for almost 15 years. Um, all our children of color are taught is that slavery and then moving forward.
Mm,
Uh, they don't speak about our kingdoms. They don't speak about our chiefs, our kings, our queens,
right.
our our medicine, our spirituality. Nothing. They don't speak about those things. So to me, that was important. That foundation. Um, I think on one of the other shows I had mentioned, like one of my favorite quotes is by Marcus Garvey, and it says, "A people without the knowledge of their history their past history, their origin, or their culture is like a tree without roots.
Mm-hmm.
And our people need to know where we're coming from because it causes an identity crisis, which we see now happening.
Yes.
Um, recent events. Um, but I think people are starting to wake up. But there's a lot we don't know. So that's why I started there.
Right. I did hear you say that on Bar Talk with Luke
Yes.
Ballantyne in the Moment to Remember Studios. And I was like, yes, that right
Hmm.
there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you don't know yourself, you're prone to anything. Like you're going to take on an identity that's given to you because a lot of times things are forced on us through the media, especially the children now, worse than us.
Yeah.
There are so many things forced on them, and if they don't have the foundation to stand on, then what? You know, they have to be grounded in who they are and know where they're coming from.
And Nikki just said in the stew pot there are a lot of misconceptions about Africa. So
Mm,
y'all wanted to dispel those myths also.
exactly. Especially even you, and you mentioned if it was just mostly Jamaican, a lot of Jamaicans. Um, if you mention Africa to them, it's like they turn up their nose sometimes.
Mm.
And the continent is such a beautiful continent, and what
Yeah.
they show, what we see in the media is you always see like poor children or rundown place, and that's not what it is. I've been to Ghana. I have friends that live there and still live there.
Mm-hmm.
That whole continent is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
That's where it originated from. That's where even the cell phone I'm talking on right now, all the pieces come from over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Nice.
want to portray these negative things about the continent, and it's not so.
Mm-hmm. Well, it comes with knowledge,
Hmm.
and a lot of us don't have it. We get information, and we decide to take on that information and assume that is correct and make it gospel.
Right. We don't research and see.
Yeah. What I tell people here is I'm here to stimulate your appetite, not to satisfy your hunger. You hear me say something, go ahead and challenge it.
Right.
Please challenge it. Go and look up information on it yourself and come back and say, Stu, you got that wrong. Or, hey, you were right on the money.
Hmm.
Whatever it is, but don't just take my word for it. Yeah, I went and I did some research. Big deal. You can too.
It's true. It's true. And that's why, like, saying why I started with Africa, and we all talked about that. Even the symbol that we use for link up and build is an Adinkra symbol from West Africa, and that's what you see on some of the fabric, and that's the Sankofa symbol, and it means to go back and get it. So we're going back and getting that knowledge, that information from the past, so that we can move forward.
This bird with
Mm.
whatever it is in its beak, you're saying
Yes,
that symbolizes go back and get it?
yes,
And it's called what?
the Sankofa.
The Sankofa.
Hmm.
And that translates to
This go back and get it.
go back and get it.
Yeah, it's an Adinkra symbol,
It's from
and there's
where?
many Adinkra symbol from West Africa.
Okay. I never heard of Adinkra.
But we have to go there. Now you got something to research.
Yeah, I do. And there's no shame in my game. I will tell you, I have never heard of whatever because I don't hear it all and I definitely don't know it all,
There's so much. There's
contrary
so
to
much.
popular belief.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I'm gonna
But
do it.
it, that's a different show. Um, but here, there's no way that someone can get exposed to this and leave not being or not feeling differently.
Mhm.
You know, there's so much to gain from this type of experience, both for all ages. And these are the kind of programs that we need in our communities. These are the kind of programs that we need to strengthen our communities,
Yes.
because they take you right down to the grassroots level. You have to sit down together. And I love that you started affirmations.
Yes. That's something I've always done since I began teaching many years ago.
Where did you learn it?
Me, where did I learn it? I don't even know. I can't even like pinpoint it, but I know I do it to myself
Mm-hmm.
and my children before my children before we leave the house. We have a special prayer and we say our affirmations on who we are. But I cannot remember where the affirmations come from. I
Yeah.
have many elders in my life that have spoken to me. One is listening now. Shout out to Aunt Roslyn. Um,
Hey, Aunt Roz.
she's the one who taught me the prayer, or like to pray over the children when they were babies. But the affirmation part, I don't remember, but I know that I speak to myself,
Mm-hmm.
my children. When I started teaching, they know they have to do their affirmations. Some of my past students actually come back to me. They're like college students now, and another group is going into 11th and 12th grade, and they come back and they're like, Miss Williams, we remember our affirmations and we say them, and they'll recite it to me. So
Mm.
one thing I know I try to do is to speak life into children.
Yes.
Just speak life and let them know who they are, because there's so many messages they're receiving in a day, sometimes even from us as parents, and we don't even realize it. And they have to be reminded who they are so they can stand firm and be able to walk in their purpose.
Yes.
Mhm.
So true. It teaches them to stand for something or fall for anything.
Right. Yep. And falling is not an option right now.
Especially now.
Hmm.
So that leads me to ask the question about your initial introduction to your initial exposure to these things, because you had to have been introduced to it somewhere somehow for you to want to pass this on to others.
Yeah, my father, he was he made sure we knew where we come from. He made
Nice.
We're always reading, always in the library. If I did a book report, it was on a black person. I remember doing reports on Haile Selassie and Marian Anderson and Marcus Garvey. Like, I had to know Paul Bogle. Like, I had to know who these people were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my name is actually an African name. My children's name are African names. So
Nice.
from young, and even I remember probably high school or early college, I knew, like, it was just in me. Like, even to know that I'm going to let everyone know, or like pass on this knowledge for them to know where they come from, because I've seen the sufferation here and elsewhere and all over the world, and it's something that I could sit here and be sad about it or be angry, but my thing is to empower people.
Yeah. Take that energy and channel it into something
Right,
positive.
right.
What does your name mean? What does it translate to?
I was told one who loves God more than life itself.
One who loves God more than life. Yeah.
It's a journey.
Yeah. Huh. That's like a warrior name kind of a deal.
Well,
Because
past lives I was a warrior.
You see, I didn't know that.
Because I mean, that's not the conversation tonight.
But I didn't know that. And that's, but it hearing something like that, it to love something more than life itself. It means that you're willing to fight for it. It means that you're willing to stand up when in the face of adversity and say, "Hey, listen, this is this is what I believe. This is whether it is your faith, this is your conviction, this is your project. This is you have claimed this thing."
Hmm.
And people have often said what it is that you give reverence to, that is your God. The things that you revere.
Hmm.
You know, and those religious would say that is being sacrilegious and blasphemous and idol worshipping and whatever else. But God gives us, or whichever deity you recognize, you're given these gifts, you're given these talents, you're given something to recognize, something to hold on to, something to work towards. So why not revere it?
Hmm.
It's not,
Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So I can see you doing whatever it is that you can to make sure that this program works. I let me see if I got this right. Prior to this actually happening, were you restless and what we would say haunted? You felt uncomfortable knowing that there's something that you need to do and you have an idea that you need to do it, and but you were just not comfortable until you started actually doing it.
That is actually true. I've been given messages over the years, like piece by piece. There's still more to this that it's working towards. There's still more to come from Link Up and Build. But yes, um, I remember actually was maybe the summer before. Like I sat down and wrote this up because mind you, they've been having conversations. Like me and my friends and having several conversations, trying to get our kids together and find something like this. But I remember, I think it was the summer before when I think it was like when Sandra, the thing that happened with Sandra Bland and um, several other men with the police brutality and stuff. And I remember like knowing that I'm supposed to do something, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not the first time I felt like that, but I was like, I remember that part. I remember like crying out to God, like, and asking, like, what is it? What is it that we're supposed to do as a collective, and or what is it I'm supposed to do individually? And he showed me, like, you've been doing it. You're supposed to uplift the youth. Um,
Right.
this came because even before Link Up and Build, or even just starting it, when I'm in the classroom, I was even looking at some letters from old students. Like when I'm in the classroom, like I'm that.
Mm.
I'm I'm that woman who's the mother, the counselor, the auntie, and I will tell you about yourself and tell you who you are and what you're supposed to do. Um, I'll give you the history lesson that's not in the book. I wouldn't even use the book sometimes. I would go and find my own lesson or make up my own thing to teach these children.
Yeah.
You know, I knew I was supposed to have something for a while though, and just empower people and build community.
Mm. You see, I could relate. I can relate. And it is from my own experiences why I asked you that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I I somehow feel that, just hearing you talk, I hear that coming out in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I I guess it must. I don't know if it is this picture of you that I use to represent you tonight with the paintings, the markings on your
Right.
face. What is that about?
Um, indigenous paint, tribal paint, different markings. It depends on where you're from. The indigenous of this land use it. Of other lands for
Mm-hmm.
various weddings, war. It depends on the occasion. I think by the look of my face, I probably was ready to for war.
No, you don't look like you were ready for war. That's a pleasant look that you have on your face in this
Okay,
picture.
okay.
Maybe just before this or maybe after it, probably,
I
but
don't know.
not for this in this moment. That's not what I see captured in this moment. I know one other person that uses tribal paint regularly, Alana, and um, there is, well, it's actually a group of them that would do it. Um, and for the life of me, no, I can't remember the the name of the group, but they operate out of Fort Lauderdale.
Hmm.
Um, and Alana is in there. Um, Nikki, oh geez, Nikki's gonna kill me. Um, Not Nikki Thompson.
I was like, I know, like which Nikki?
Oh geez, I'll tell you before the night is out. But they they would meet up and they there's this thing that they do. Watch your elephant, and oh my goodness, it's Alana Da Costa. No, is it Alana Da Costa?
Oh gosh, you gonna start calling out
Okay,
names.
I'm. You know what? I,
What do they do?
I we'll come back to that another time. We
Okay.
focusing on you right now. Alana is gonna kill me. Um, yeah, she. Oh my goodness, they're all going to kill me.
Fine. Back to the tribal paint. Yes, I have tribal
but
paint on my.
but Nikki Lopez is a part of the group, and even when you look at Nikki's pictures, you will see where she uses tribal paint on her profiles.
Mhm.
She's an artist. She's an activist. Um, and if you check out hashtag Watch Your Elephant, it'll take you to their connections. It's really cool.
Okay, I'll check them out.
Yeah, but Alana is also an artist and singer and dancer. Anyway, it would be good if y'all connected
We link up.
because yeah, it would be good for you to link up and build.
That'll be awesome. Like I'm looking for other like-minded groups and people because I don't think it should just be us. You know what I'm saying? Like my vision is to connect all of us. We're so divided, you know, and
Yeah,
there's a lot from each other.
believe me, it's not just you. Um, Alana Da Costa years ago. I need to do an update. Had to have been probably like 4 years ago that she was last on this show. So she would forgive me after killing me, but she would eventually forgive me.
Dead first.
Well, the forgiveness has to come at some point.
Oh Lord.
So I can see Link Up and Build just creating bridges,
Mhm.
and the chains that are used in this group are chains that are used to help to hold each other together, not
Mhm.
chains in as in bondage.
Chains of love.
Yeah, chains to help each other. It's more like weaving threads together to have this strong rope with which we can pull each other up out of a situation
Yeah.
and to help each other along the way. These are the images that come to mind when I hear you talk about link up and build, because that's what I see you doing.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I feel like we didn't have that growing up, and it- it's like you had to go through your own things by yourself and be hush hush, or figure out things on your own. Um, but I think together, yo, we're powerful. We're more powerful together. You know. Um, Even just the fact of thinking like how we used to have elders to go and speak to, or our ancestors did, like when there was an issue, or and I think I spoke about that on Bar Talk, like even how to be in a relationship, or how to manage school or whatnot. Like
Yeah.
we don't really have that. I mean, our parents tell us one thing, but if our parents don't know, then whatnot, then what? And I speak about a lot, like a lot of the families within our group, we're all educated, and I'm thinking about the children whose parents are stuck in that cycle.
Mm.
Um, those who are dealing with poverty, those who are dealing with abuse, those who are dealing with the identity crisis going on. That's I want to reach them too, but we need to build in order to be able to provide what we can, because that's a whole another arena. But those children are who I think about, because are their parents getting up and praying over them, or giving them affirmations, or letting them know who they are? What are they seeing from day to day? The violence, the lack of love. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about those families too.
And those things are really important, especially now when the country is so divided, and it's not just the United States, but it's all over the world. There's so much more division, or the division already existed, but now it is manifesting even more.
Mhm.
We're seeing more evidence of it.
Right. I think that's what it is. We're seeing the evidence because of media.
Right.
Mhm.
And so if you have a support system where you can go to individuals, peers, elders, and be vulnerable
Mhm.
in saying, hey, I need help with this. This is what I'm struggling with right now. You know, I need a pair of shoes. And it might sound trivial, but I need a pair of shoes, but I'm thinking to go get these $3,000 shoes.
Yeah.
But
Guide.
but why? Why?
Yeah. Because what's raising the children is just like, look, $3,000 shoe. Why would you get that? That's what they're seeing, the images they're seeing. So if they do have people like us around where they see us and like, okay, this is the way to live, or you can be successful this way, or like especially like with money and wealth building, that's a
Mm-hmm.
big that um
Yes.
yeah. Even us as the adults need some guidance, because
Well, we
we're
weren't taught how to truly um, manifest wealth, and to we weren't taught about generational wealth.
exactly, and that's where we keep going into this cycle, but breaking it right now with this generation. And even in link up, we've had discussions on wealth and financial um well-being and stuff, and we want to go more into that and even like push the entrepreneurship. Like Nikki's a big that's her thing, like the entrepreneurship. um so these children know that you have options. You know, you can be wealthy. You can, those things you put on your vision board, you can manifest that. You can have that. Here are the
Mm-hmm.
steps to get.
Right.
But it
I'm
will break cycles. It will definitely break those cycles.
I'm lining up Nikki too. I don't know if she knows it yet, but I'm getting her ready to do her bit and go and talk about what she's doing
Mhm.
here in South Florida. You know, people have been bombarded by guests from all over the place with me. Yeah, my oyster is global.
Yes. You know everybody.
Here we go. Oh no, with this. um, but I'm grateful. I can say that I know Sulaya. You know, you can link up and build with Sulaya.
Yeah, yeah.
So, how do other people get to know Sulaya? Where can they find you?
You mean to link up and build? You could go on Instagram, um, link underscore up underscore and underscore build. You can go on Facebook, link up and build. You can email me at linkupandbuild@gmail.com. You can also call me at 954-300-1263, I believe.
Oh,
Let me look.
you don't know your number? Or is...
Hush. Just yeah, Lord. Yeah, 954-300-1263.
Okay.
I talk about Link Up and Builder. We're working on our website. We're working on a lot of different things. Um, like I said, there was a summer program. You'll see that on the Instagram. There was a summer program, but COVID-19 kind of mashed me up this year. But it's all
Mm-hmm.
good. We're working. We're still working for things to come.
Well, I don't know if you know any groups that host. Well, one of my sponsors host websites.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Policy Media Group. They host my website, and I
Okay.
I I get I have all these bells and whistles, you know, broadcasting live on my website, the chat room and stuff. But the you know you can have them build your website also.
Okay. We'll speak. We'll speak.
So you know that's an option. And for those out there who want to build their thing and have their website and looking for somewhere to host, or you're probably hosting somewhere and you want to move. Let's say you're looking to support the black community. It is a black-owned business.
Hmm.
Um, but if you want to support the entrepreneurs, it's an entrepreneur that started this. It's an so Policy Media Group is there that and they can provide that service.
That's
So
good.
that's something to consider as you look to link up as you continue to build.
Nice.
Yeah, hey, use what people know to reach them. Speaking of what people know, I really like this. I link up and build an Afro Caribbean centered learning community that focuses on the history and continued contributions of our African and Caribbean heritage. I like
Yeah,
that.
that is us.
Did you sit down and come up with this on your own, or the group helped you?
That part I don't remember. The mission and vision, I know I did that part. I think I did the first part. But we all been having conversations, trying to make it a collective. 'Cause I could easily sit down and just do my own thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's important to have everyone involved.
Well, one of the something I learned recently as you work with teams, um, when everybody thinks up their piece and then you come together, you have so much more. It is that you have that much more versatility to your end product versus everybody sitting together and coming up with something.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing of Link Up and Build. It's community, building community.
Yeah.
Coming.
So bring your idea and let's put it all together. Let's get together and put our heads together and everybody bring their idea and we take a piece of this and we take a piece of that and we take a piece of the other and it's like a stew.
Yep.
Not a me, but the actual stew. You know, it's or what uh some would know as a gumbo.
Mm-hmm.
The little bit of this and a little bit of that and you put it all together and it becomes this amazing meal.
It is.
That's that's what I'm talking about when I say minds getting together. Because although great minds think alike, that's only alike, not the same. Don't mix up the two. I know as an educator, you would be quick to differentiate.
But
But
yeah.
no, go ahead.
No, what you're saying, alike and the same, like everyone brings, and it goes back to what I was saying about everyone has a purpose.
Yes.
May be thinking on the same thing, but your perspective and your angle to it may be different from mine.
Mm-hmm.
You'll bring something totally different, but it'll be all aligned.
Yeah, and I like how you've been. I can't stress this enough. Since you started and what you've been telling me that you've been doing. When I said since you started, since we started talking tonight,
Mhm.
and what you've been telling me that you've been doing, it has all been bringing different people together and everybody leaving feeling like they're a part of something greater. I wasn't there and I felt like I was there just hearing it. And I'm excited about the next time something happens, even if I'm not going to be there, which I'm not saying that I'm not going
Look,
to
I
be
was I
there.
was gonna say, I don't know if you have an option, but
Oh, oh, it's like that now. I don't. I okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know that whatever the next thing is for Link Up and Build, I'm going to be there as soon as I know what that is, and when it is, so will you.
just look out on the Instagram and the Facebook. Like I said, we're revamping some things and trying to make it COVID friendly and kind of watching the way things going.
Right. But right now, as it is, your WhatsApp group, your virtual groups are still active, correct?
Yes. So if you send me a message, I'm there. We post things every now and again. If you call me, I can add you to the WhatsApp group and we have conversations within there.
Could you give that number once more, please?
954-300-1263.
Let me go ahead and drop that in the stew pot. So at least if anybody comes back and looks, they can see it for a little while.
For
It
the what years?
no, it goes away, you know. The chat goes away. You
I
know,
guess so.
it doesn't stay forever. Not like the video. The archive is there. But
Gotcha, gotcha.
you know, in the stew pot, you know, you have to wash the pot and turn it down, kind of a thing. You know. Yeah, new stew gets added each time.
A true. You can't have the old stew and put in new stuff in the old stew. Okay.
Yeah, you have to use that up, consume it,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah.
you rinse and reuse the container, not the contents. All right, so we're wrapping up. You have, let's see, 3 years, correct? It's 3 years now that this is going on,
It's either 3 or 4. I don't remember.
but it has been going and growing steadily.
Yes. Yes, it
What,
has.
what are you? Well, you did mention this before, but I want you to pretty much say it again as we close out. The vision that you have for the the organization.
Well, the vision is to transform communities through our culture, our strength, our integrity of the citizens of the diaspora. So, Black people knowing who they are. We even have Hispanic people part of the group as well. But just transforming communities. And it starts with ourselves and knowing ourselves and knowing our purpose.
Mm.
Everything will change once we work on ourselves and then the group and then go out into the community and shine.
So, with it being for mostly for people from the Caribbean, is it to say that if someone of a lighter persuasion, European American, wanted to join and to be a part of this group, this organization, is it to say that it's not necessarily a fit for them?
No, they can come. They need to learn too. We
Cool.
can all learn together. They are always welcome. But the focus will be on, and sometimes like even the principles we have is awareness, survival, thrive, excellence, respect, community, and spirituality. Anybody can benefit from that.
Right.
We're teaching values of integrity and community and self-determination, creativity, and faith. So
Hmm.
anybody can benefit from that. So if they're comfortable, like we're not like anti anything, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right. And which is
We're all
why I worded the question the way I did, because it is not to say that they're not allowed. I just wanted to know if it would be a fit for them. Because,
oh, I'm an educator. I teach everybody. So
right.
and I teach. Well, I guess with people who know me, I'm always exuding love. I give love.
Hmm.
Whatever I'm telling you, whatever I'm exposing you to, whatever I'm teaching you is out of love.
Right.
Anybody will come and feel welcome and love.
Perfect. So just for those who are not of black origins or brown or Hispanic origins, to let you know that Link Up and Build is for everybody.
Hmm.
The focus right now is on those who are misguided, those who, because we know the black history. Just last Wednesday, I was looking at, I was focusing on where Negro came from, and I presented some information on that. And even the very first entry of Negro in the Encyclopedia Britannica would just leave you angry because nothing good was said about black people. And this was an encyclopedia. It's a reference for information that we use to get by. So, with you raising the awareness that there's more to this than this now gives proof to not believing everything you read. Funny
Yeah.
enough. But it also encourages you to read more because that one bit of information isn't all the information. And it encourages you to be aware of whose story it is
Mm-hmm.
that you're absorbing. Because his story is the one who has the loudest voice. So
It's
become
true.
aware so that you can raise your voice also. And groups like this, Link Up and Build, I see that providing a voice through information and research and community development and growth. And for that, Sulaya, I do applaud you. I really do. And so does my sound effects.
Look, I was like, is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. It's the God in me. It's just me doing what, living my purpose and obeying, and the people around me as well. I have
Well,
amazing.
I thank you and your crew
Yes.
for being obedient to the call
Yes.
because we only stand to benefit from it. And I do look forward to your next event um, assignment.
Will be an event.
I'm looking forward to it because I I don't know if I think I told you, but I did work with children for a while, so
Yeah, you told.
yeah.
Well, it won't be an assignment after all this. All this. What are we on? What is this quarantine that we're supposedly on but not on? After it's all done, I know these kids
Yeah.
ramp.
It's supposed
So
to be holidays now.
right, and the last thing we were supposed to do before we went into quarantine, we were supposed to have our annual sports day, and everyone was looking forward to it. So we might just start with that to let the children and the adults alike be able to ramp and ramp and down and compete and just let out all this energy and enjoy
You're
each other.
gonna have a field day?
Oh my gosh, we had one last year and it was so fun. The pictures are on our Instagram page. It was
Oh
so,
my goodness.
we got so competitive. We had the red house, the green house, the yellow house. Everybody came in their t-shirts. We had a little flag ceremony. Um,
Oh
one of our
wow.
dads actually ended up having to go to the hospital because he was competing so much. He hurt up his foot.
Oh
Shout out
no.
to Gabby Dutty. But yeah, and it was so fun.
Mm-mm.
Had a picnic and we just played all day, like organized play. And of course, the Red House won. I was a Red House, so yeah.
Of course,
But
you would say that.
yes, we're competitive. We're good. We're awesome.
You know, I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, Sulaya Williams, educator, and I guess it would be safe to call you founder
Yeah.
of Link Up and Build.
Yes. Yes.
And I want to say thank you for, again, for hearing and heeding to the call. Thank you for taking the time out to share with us what Link Up and Build is all about. And make sure your friends stick around and help to build this thing.
Yes. I'm holding on to them. Thank you for having me and everybody listening and tuning in to Kevin's Stew.
Oh, look at you! I need to make you. I need to have you do a drop. Let's link up and build it. I can hear you doing it now. I'm waiting for that. You see, you don't put it out there now. You say you're gonna have to do it. There's no turning back now.
All right, all right, all right.
All right. As I go off into musical therapy, thank you, Sulaya. Thank you, Link Up and Build crew and family. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you guys in the stew pot. Because we all are one, I will start off musical therapy with just that track. This is Cesar. It's called One. Celia, we'll talk.
Yes.
Have a great night. In fact, go catch the rest of the show. Enjoy the musical therapy.
Okay. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on you?
This is the sound of Cesar.
You've got someone.
His rendition of U2's One.
One love, one life, it's one need, life, one life, it's a share, leaves you, baby, if you don't care for it. Did I disappoint you? Leave a bad taste in your mouth. You act like you never had love, and you want me to go without. Well, it's too late tonight. Drag the past out into the light. We're one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other, carry each other. Whoa. Have you come here for forgiveness? Have you come to raise the dead? Have you come here to play Jesus? To the lepers in your head? Did I ask too much? More than a lot. You gave me nothing, now it's all I got. We're one, but we're
I want to say thanks to GMAT Music Solutions once again, sponsoring this segment of the show.
each other and we do it again.
It's called our musical therapy.
Love is a temple, love
Before that, we had Reggae Global Entertainment
is a temple.
in the segment before this one, and
Love
Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands.
went up.
Thank you to all my segment sponsors.
I can't be holding on to what you got when all you got is hurt. One love, one blood, one life. You got to do what you should. One dream with each other.
the sound of Ed Robinson.
Oh, it takes hate to make it all tumble.
Track called The More We Are Together.
We know that what goes up don't always come back down. No, but when it goes around, we know it's have to come back around. So if you're digging one pit, my brother, better you just dig two. And if you're setting one trap, my sister, set another one for you. Don't you know things are always never what they seem? No, my reality could sometimes be your dream. But the more we are together, the happier we shall be. The more we stand together, the stronger we shall be. Yes, the more we are together, the happier we shall be. The more we stand together, the stronger we shall be. Yeah. Instead of building walls, let's build bridges instead. Instead of fighting wars, let peace go ahead. Remember, today is for you, but tomorrow's for me. Yeah. The light has been shining for you. Don't be so blind to see. Yeah. Things are always never what they seem. No, my reality could sometimes be your dream. The more we are together, the happier we shall be. The more we stand together, the stronger we shall be. Yes, the more we are together, the happier we shall be. The more we stand together, the stronger we shall be. This is a warning. Whatever goes around will come back around. This is a warning. Don't let your walls come tumbling down. This is a warning. 7 times rising, 7 times fall. This is a warning. Rise up your mind, let it stand up tall.
Pray upon it, pray upon it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it, don't give up.
This is the sound of the Twiggerific one.
Stay upon it,
This is Twiggy.
don't you
Track called Don't Give Up.
don't you quit, cannot play with it, don't give up. You gotta know some talent. You never borrow it, no money spent. Can't get you out, tell them don't even try. And then better go repent. Live your life as it was ordained. It will be sometimes not, but most times rain. Easier said than done when you're the one who is feeling the pain. So you have to pray upon it, pray upon it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it, don't give up. I am begging you to stay upon it, pray upon it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it, don't give up. And keep throwing the towel or feeling blue. 'Cause one day you're gonna end up be the victor too. Just be brave, my sisters, my brothers, I'm talking to you. Your reward will be great if to yourself you'll only be true. But you must be pray upon it, pray upon it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it, don't give up. Pray upon it, pray upon it. Don't you ever walk away from it. Don't you quit, cannot play with it, don't give up. Shoop, shoop, shooby-dooby-doo. The wagon is and we won't come follow you. Give thanks for everything. Success and favor, your hard work will bring.
the sound of Tenor Blue. Working out with Peter Morgan. Taking it once more from the tippy top. It's called Push Forward.
The bills run come, but the money done. Push forward. And though you work till the sun goes down, you gotta find strength.
10 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 minutes before we get on out of here.
What you see can't be found. You gotta push forward. And the person you trust lets you down. You gotta have faith. Down a dry desert road, they've been carrying their load in the heat of the sun all day. Destination unknown, driven far from their homes. Tired feet are just aching. And the life they once known now seems so long ago. They long to return to those days. With the future unsure, is there anything more than these long days of heartache and pain? When in the moment your loved one's taken away, gotta push forward, yeah. And the pain runs so deep you can't sleep. When injustice is everywhere you look, you gotta push forward. It's time to open up and read that good book. You gotta have faith.
Everything is everything, we never lose faith. Stand strong in the Gideon, yeah. Cause we are warrior, we are no false pretender. From Jackal, we have already, yeah. Things won't always be how we want them to be. Still we carry on our way. We push on, forever stand strong.
And when the pressures of life wanna break you down, and it seems there's no rest to be found, don't give up, no. Find strength to get through the day. Cause this life gets so hard and the world ain't fair. But wherever you are, know that job will be there. So hold on to your hope, hold on to your faith. Cause the last shall be first, you'll find glory one day. Now when the bills run come, but the money doesn't, you gotta push forward. You gotta push forward. Though you work till the sun goes down, you gotta find strength. And the love that you seek can't be found. You gotta push forward. Gotta push forward. And the person you trust lets you down. You gotta have faith. When in the moment your loved one's taken away, and the pain runs so deep you can't sleep. When injustice is everywhere you look, you gotta push forward. You gotta push forward. It's time to open up and read that good book. You gotta have faith. And when the bills run come, but the money doesn't, you gotta push forward.
The sound of Peter Morgan working out with Tenor Blue. Track is called Push Forward.
When the love that you seek can be found, you gotta push forward. And the person you trust lets you down.
And we're gonna move from one Morgan to another. This is Gramps Morgan. His tribute to his uncle that passed on,
If you give a little
and legendary producer Bobby Digital Dixon.
and if you try to fix more than you break,
It's called People Like You.
if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, There's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you wanna see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you. I've heard that the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do, 'cause there's a place up there for people like you.
Yeah, there's a place up there for people like the people from Link Up and Build.
Out of many young people we are.
Loud the lion make him roar. Goodness and mercy shall follow I. Steps of the righteous
This is Korik.
by the Most High.
It's called Can't Kill My Dream.
Yeah. You can't kill me dream, you can't stop me hustle. The fight where you want, fight it just build up me muscle. Cause you can't kill me dream, you'll never stop me hustle. No way, no way, no. Tell you say you can't kill me dream, you can't stop me hustle. All the fight you want, fight it just build up me muscle. Cause you can't kill me dream, you'll never stop me hustle. No way, no way. Cause my spirit is unbreakable. That means my will is strong and my foundation is unshakable. No training, no practice, I got this, now I'm capable. Me ready for whatever, not doing this for pleasure. I'm coming with the pressure, time for work and no leisure. I'm coming for that treasure, at the top is my endeavor. And if you're waiting for me to give up, you wait forever. Cause I am not a quitter, I endure to be the victor. One more thing to consider, remember say you can't kill me dream, you can't stop me hustle. All the fight you are, fight it just build up me muscle. Cause you can't kill me dream, you'll never stop me hustle. No way, no way, no way, no. Remember say you can't kill me dream, you can't stop me hustle. All the fight you are, fight it just build up me muscle. Cause you can't kill me dream, you'll never stop me hustle. No way, no way, I've got the eye of a tiger and I'm never gonna give up. Spirit of a fighter in me and it and lift up. If you sit down on me chair, you know you have to get up. Cause I'm coming for my share. Run post a figure, kick up opportunity. No waste, cause then the things me grab and grip up. Try keep up, cause if you're waiting for me to give up, you wait forever. Cause I am not a quitter, I endure to be the victor. One more thing to consider, remember say you can't kill me dream.
No matter how hard you try, you have this.
Just build up me muscle, cause you can't kill me dream.
This determination, this grit.
No way,
You can't get stopped.
say you can't kill me dream, you can't stop me hustle. All the fight you are, fight it just build up me muscle. So you can't kill me dream and you never stop my hustle. No way.
And in everything, we must give thanks. This is called Glorious.
I will bless the Lord at all times. I will pray.
The sound of Shauna Dazzle,
When I think of all the good He's done,
member of SDS, Sensational Dynamic Sound.
mercy's pouring down like rain, and I'm flooded by grace.
This is how I leave you tonight.
Because of any good
Catch you tomorrow.
done,
Healthy Love Tuesday.
remains the same, so I say, may the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. May the whole world see the light. May they come to testify. May they know the power and might of your glorious name. I cannot believe your name. I cannot but give you praise. I know where I could be now, so I stand unashamed. God, you've never let me down in spite of even me. And you prove yourself faithful. You reign in majesty, so I sing may.
I say good afternoon, good day, good
May they come
morning
testify.
to you wherever you are in the world. Yeah, that was one I was leaving out. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. But right here in South Florida, I bid you good night. Until tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, KevinStew.com. We take on Healthy Love. Peace and love to you. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on KevinStew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.